Hey, hey, it's that time again. It is teamfortress.tv time. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to Twitch. Welcome. I am TurboTabs. Joining with me tonight is Beta and Gem. I'm not going to get into thicker things or pat them on the back too hard tonight because we've got some reports to get through, Beta.
Yeah, that's right. Like we got Lego versus Weebtunnel tactics. These teams have both surprised me quite a bit against Top 5 Rocket or Ascent, both of them. So there's definitely some interesting things to look at. So yeah, let's just jump into some reports because this is a pretty interesting match, right? Like we have Lego kind of choking a whole lot and then apparently getting over themselves and kind of making a big comeback on product. And now they're totally not going to do it ever again, right?
Yeah, hopefully. If everyone's a bit confused about what we're talking about, we are getting to the main discussion of our ETF2L Season 28, I guess, overview maybe, but we'll delve a little bit into our Week 4 game as well, which is, like you said, Lego versus Weebtunnel Tactics, and we're kind of a little, maybe a week or so late on these reports now, but now that we've got back into the swing of things, just past the hump of the league itself, we can start kind of fanning out these reports as every week passes by now. And here's a favourite for the fans, but a favourite not amongst me, Beta, because not only is it confusing, but it's also one that tends to break a lot, as you can probably already see on the report loaded.
Yeah, there's some confusing stuff in here. That's for sure. But just to go through the overall overview here, right? I think you can kind of tell that, like, Josh does a lot of damage. That's pretty obvious. And then you have two really strong scouts in Sen and Sword. You can see they both do quite a bit of damage and they get a lot of kills. And I think that's a general theme of Lego is that they have this really strong pocket and then they have like two really good scouts this season, and that's probably like going to be the main factor. And then there's Demul, that's kind of the wildfight factor that you can't really see it in the stats as much, but sometimes he's just going to go absolutely huge.
Yeah, and what makes this, I guess, graph so great is not only does it give you the raw stats of what these players are performing, but how much they contribute to their team in particular, at least broken down by the percentages shown on here. And you'll even get a little bit of a bar graph kind of effect going as well as you take a closer look at them. And the one thing that jumps out to me, Beta, amongst all these graphs is how much work Nuthouse puts in for his team. Look at those kills. He's 30% of his kills.
Yeah, 30% of his team's kills. That's a lot, and he's getting a lot of kills per minute, and just overall very impressive. Having 261 damage per minute. I'm sure we'll see it once we get to the individual stats, like where he ranks, but he's probably pretty high up, and that's very surprising. I didn't know about Nuthouse until very recently, so I'm always excited to see these new up-and-coming scouts, and Nuthouse so far has been very impressive to me.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me of another little Finnish player that kind of breezed their way in, and then, well, I haven't really seen much of him as of late, but that reminds me of Pascari when he first came onto the scene and kind of drew a few eyes, and I don't know, maybe this could be a way for him to kind of leapfrog onto some higher teams, maybe, Beta, if Weebtunnel Tactics don't end up finishing too hot.
Yeah, it's these are two teams that are both pretty different in expectations this year. I'd say, at least as far as I'm concerned, Lego's like in the top 3-ish teams, and then we have Weebtunnel Tactics, which I expected would be in the bottom 3. And then where exactly they finish, I'm not too sure. So it's definitely like Lego being the favorites here. But both teams have been really strong on Viaduct, or Product as we call it these days. And they both struggled and had some surprising results as well. So like I'd say Lego, yeah, they're the favorites, but I'm not too confident that they're not going to choke in the last couple of minutes and lose a round. Because they've been doing that a lot.
Yeah, we do have actually some other reports hidden back there with some little matchups. There we go. We've got the Zenith and Nuthouse matchup shown onto the stream for everyone to view. And I mean, looking at first glance, just taking some first impressions, it seems like Nuthouse kind of, I guess, out-trumps Zenith, despite all of his experience and how much time he's probably spent with Team Lego. And it's really, I guess it's just really impressive to see. I mean, it maybe preserves his life just a little bit more over on Zenith, but
I also know Zen does a lot of building Uber, like a whole lot of building Uber.
Yeah.
Like, pay attention to like condoms heals per minute because it's crazy, and this is just because Zen builds so much Uber. It's really nuts. We're actually going live pretty soon.
Yeah. We've got all these reports to choose from, Beta. It's a shame we can't go through all of them, but I guess the only problem with these little scout matchups and whatnot and the report systems is it might kind of skew a little bit in the way that some scouts play that aggressive role or that flank scout, whilst I believe that actually might be on the... Yeah, I think that's Nuthouse's role. Well, I know Zenith likes to play the pocket scout over on the side of Lego, so... some of these stats may seem a little weird. Of course, Nuthouse is going to have more deaths, and of course, Zenith is going to have less. But then Nuthouse is probably going to be more likely to grab these first picks or these first kills as compared to Zenith, who has to kind of just like pick up the pieces, do all these little odd jobs for his team as well, and not just go around killing people.
Yeah, just looking at these stats, though, you definitely say that on product here, it's a very good scout map. So you kind of expect Nuthouse to do really well based on these stats, but like I've played with Zen quite a lot, and he is an absolute beast on Viaduct, and he's always been. I think he's one of his favorite maps. So,
but here is one matchup that we can't possibly screw up, Beta. It's the demo versus demo matchup. There's no kind of like fluffing or excuses here. You can the comparison can't get any. Oh no, there's no time to get into said comparison. We're going straight into it. And if you're just joining us, this is ETF2L Season 28. Week 4 Lego versus Weebtunnel Tactics, our first map, King of the Hill product. Let's see how both of these teams kick off at the start of this mid, and right now I don't really see anybody going in aggressive straight off the bat. They're kind of just playing the slow game, seeing if they could spam out Warher, and
Dotta's down immediately, so the hype wasn't real, and also Zen. So both the players we just compared are really already down, but Dimul tried to go forward. He got juggled really hard, and then Josh goes in to try and help him, and then Zorik goes in to try and help him, and that just kind of snowballs out of control. Condom and Dimul will both survive, so it's not a complete disaster for Lego here. They do lose the middle, but they're going to be able to push out very quickly, and they even have a bit faster respawns here as well, so not the end of the world here. So bit of a back foot start there, but yeah, Lego, they're going to be straight into it.
On the bright side, Condom did keep himself alive during all that action, so he will have the Uber ready to take this initial fight, and they will have that sort of loser's advantage on King of the Hill, where they will get the faster respawners. So in Lego's eyes right now, trades are good, and trades will possibly win them this fight and the midpoint, but the first thing I see is Demo making a massive big boy bomb against the blob of Weebtunnel Tactics, and instead they just opt to push them out, Beta. There's no need to take any lives today if they're just going to give up the objective.
Yeah, pretty passive play coming out from Weebtunnel Tactics. They're just going to push in here, get some heals, and then get ready for the repush. And it's always really difficult to tell in this map, like how aggressive can you be. If you never push across the point, you'll never get any kills, but also if you go too far forward, you can just die for no reason. Nothing's going to go in very aggressively in Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil will survive, though. That's going to be the first pick in favor of Lego. They get the second one as well. Warrior's very weak, and he's getting just focused down by basically everyone. He's going to be lucky to actually get out alive. Oh my god, look at this double soldier bomb. That was brutal. But Menti does actually get out alive.
I'm very surprised that Weebtunnel Tactics stuck around for so long there. It's kind of expected at this point when you lose two players off over on your flank. They know that they have to deal with the I guess the main disadvantage of kind of committing away players into that corner. So with them down, they just decide to all in, see if they can find those extra picks onto Weebtunnel Tactics. And they did get a few here and there, but Menti kept himself alive. So again, we find ourselves in another scenario where both of these medics have Uber and they're both pushing in onto this mid. But actually, Condom pops off first. I'm very surprised he popped off that early. I guess he really wanted to hold on to Dr. Phil's life, realizing that he is crucial for this defense. But he goes down anyway, Peter. And now they're all just entering the meat grinder of Weebtunnel Tactics. Now Josh does get a trade kill onto Nuthouse, but in the grand scheme of things, it's just not worth it. And oh dear,
yeah,
oh dear,
the Lego forward hold right there. Like we saw Dr. Phil on the cliff side, which is a pretty normal thing to do. He had a single scout there as well, but he just got completely overwhelmed. He got out initially, but then he just got focused down afterwards pretty quickly. And then Condom just decided that he wasn't going to lose his demo man, so he just popped it. And you know, that's questionable, but it's not stupid by any means. That Soda jumps into Wool again, goes in very aggressively. We actually take down Ignis, who was standing on that house, and oh my god, they even get Nuthouse as well. So Lego just completely overwhelms the flank, and that's going to cost everyone else from Weebtunnel to fall back. That's going to be an easy cap for Lego.
Feels like the story for Weebtunnel Tactics right now is the flank goes a bit too aggressive, or the flank kind of gets manhandled by the rest of Lego there, and then the dominoes start falling from that point on. Without the flank, they kind of lose so many opportunities to kind of make these better plays on Weebtunnel Tactics, and Lego really have control of them once that flank's been caved in, and they're going to make the pushback now, and they do have a few plays. Oh, a drop coming out from Demol onto Menti. That has made this push into absolute tatters now. There's no way they could really recover from this. You can even see the cleanup crew of Lego fanning out, trying to find the remaining players that they can kind of clean up as well. Throw salt into that very, very deep wound, and Condom's even got a full 100% Uber advantage. They didn't even manage to force him during all of that chaos.
Yeah, Lego, they're going to do the forward hold again. It didn't quite work out before, but now this time around they do have a full Uber advantage. This kind of, it's really dangerous to do this kind of forward hold. Looks like there's going to be a soldier that jumps in on the right side, and he's just going to get Dr. Phil, so it has not worked out at all. Lego, they still have this Uber advantage, but it's going to be so difficult to actually use it properly when there are this few players. And now they're just going to Uber in a soldier, trying to see if they can kick down the medic. They do get down the demo man, but they're not going to be able to track down Menti as well. But I think Lego has actually gotten enough kills. Yeah, they're getting so much work done here. I think this is very much possible for them. There's a single scout Nuthouse just getting absolute work done, and Blood is now also going to fight this. He's on the point, but he's oh wow, Menti going down to the mole there as well. That's pretty backbreaking. And now it's just basically people just jumping in desperately, trying to stave off and get into overtime, but it's not going to be enough in time. 1-0 to Lego.
That was one of the more convincing rounds of Product I've seen, Beta. I mean, it wasn't just a one-dimension. Weebtunnel Tactics couldn't deal with one aspect. They would initially deal with one little scenario, but Lego would just pack another. It seems like they're like 4 moves ahead compared to Weebtunnel Tactics on this Viaduct map so far.
Yeah, Gem, you have the teams wrong. Lego is always red. No exceptions. And yeah, Vanny's gonna actually just stand still up on the pipe, and Demol has gone to sniper to mid. But look at this, just the aggression onto Lego is just gonna completely overwhelm him. Really well played here from Weebtunnel Tactics. And that's how you counter a sniper, you just go really aggressive.
Yeah, oh, Josh is even going to get caught out on this right-hand side. Oh, he will finally meet the backup of his team now, and that could have been going from bad to worse. But yeah, it seems if there's anything that Weebtunnel Tactics have shown so far, they're pretty good at mids. They like to lean themselves to quite aggressive plays, and all war's gone down. That's your front-line defense and your front-line attack over on this Product map, and Demoman is just so crucial for kind of, oh, actually they'll even pick up the Vanny kill before they even get a chance to pop off the Uber onto him. So instead they just decide to opt to Uber in Nuthouse, who can't really seem to find any kills and just backs off with his medic for now. And there you go, everyone's just falling one by one. Even Nuthouse will kind of commit in finally and still won't find anything off the back of it.
That was kind of crazy. You just Ubered into a Lego team and then they just got 0 kills and they got kills on them instead. So a complete disaster here. Condom has a full Uber advantage. Dr. Phil going down. That's going to open up a lot of space. Don't have to worry about sticky traps anymore. And we can see Josh being Ubered in very aggressively. Takes down War immediately. And now a scout. He wants to get in here onto the medic, but Menti, he's grabbed the scout and he's out of there. But still, overall, it's an okay situation for Lego. They can get out their medic. They bought some time, but yeah, it's really unfortunate losing your demo man like that. That's going to make it so much easier for them to actually get in.
It seems like the game plan for Weebtunnel Tactics is to take down Phil and then from there kind of control the fight just from demo man superiority alone, but it seems to be a bit dangerous. I know Josh has like an idea of like he wants to use the super very aggressively when he has the chance and he sees the opportunity onto Menti, but they're doing a good job over on Weebtunnel Tactics as well to kind of kite him around. And there we go, here's the aggressive Menti Uber coming out for Weebtunnel Tactics, and they do find not only the Josh kill but the Dr. Phil. Oh wow, the Scouts making a nice little turnaround on Vanny, yeah.
That could have been really bad. I think Condom went down to like 30 HP or something like that. Yeah, if he died, that would have been a really different situation, but as it is, he's going to have an Uber now. Menti's on 30%. Big advantage for Lego. They're just going to move in here. You just have to make sure not to die to the sticky traps. The soldier actually coming. No, that's a demo man. War just going in fully aggressive there with pipes and stickies, just jumping into the air and making the medic pop. Oh, good play by him. He's going to die for it, obviously. It's going to look bad in his stats, but it was good play. Nonetheless, he got what he wanted. Josh gonna jump in very aggressively as well.
It looks like they're trying to be a little bit greedy on the side of Weebtunnel Tactics. They're not content with just having the Uber advantage alone, so they want to see if they can just kind of push them out and maybe play off the respawner advantage a little bit. But now they do pop off the Uber, but that's more of a reaction to Menti going down so low. And maybe they can pick up the pieces here and there, and Dr. Phil might go down. He is caught out in this corner, and there we go. Another Phil death for the counter, if you will, and Zenith and Sorex are seeing if maybe they don't need no stinking demo man. They could just try and push forward, push aggressive, see if they can. Oh, Vanny's actually committed in. He almost gets the kill onto Condom, brought down somewhat low, but it's just another reset for Lego. And again, they're still going in despite no demo man on their enemy team. Warher, yeah, tries to bomb in again because it worked so well last time, but it won't work so well this time. And yep, it looks like Lego have managed to control it without a demo man. Very impressive.
Yeah, so far this has been a really bad map for both demos. They've been really focused down very heavily, and I predict this stat's going to look very ugly because of it. Josh will actually take down Ignis. Ignis jumped in very aggressively and tried to win the flank, but so far not. I actually watched a couple of Lego games on this map, and often it would be the Lego flank would fall. It looks like Menti's going to get forced here basically by a sniper. One person doesn't manage to get out alive here from Lego, and Sorg will go down as well. So will Condom. So actually a really successful Uber. I completely got blindsided by that one. I thought Iggy was pretty much out safely, but nope, he got taken down. And there's now 30 seconds left on the clock now for Weebtunnel Tactics. It's looking pretty bad for Lego. They need to get out there pretty fast, otherwise it's going to be basically do or die. They're going to make some push that they would not normally have to do.
Yep, they're ransacking the point now, seeing if they can just cap it out before Menti gets an Uber to kind of really seal that defense in. And my god, they've actually got a load of kills just off of this little push alone. And what happened there, Beta? That was so strange. It looked like Weebtunnel Tactics just kind of gifted them all those kills.
Yeah, they just pushed into Dr. Phil, and he just did a ton of damage with stickies. He just kept pushing people back, and then Dumont came in with a nice flank from behind. And just getting this sorted behind is so powerful on this map. You'll see a lot of Ignis and Dumont trying to jump behind, because that's just kind of how Romans play this map, and it's very successful. They're going to come in here with an Uber. Both teams will pop it, and Lego, they're definitely going to contest this. Vanny will not be able to get out alive, so one pick advantage for Lego. But Lego, they cannot give this up. There's about 30 seconds left on their clock and 15 on the other one. Ignis once again trying to win the flank, but he cannot get it. And Dr. Phil just comes in doing so much damage, and the cleanup is real.
I'm going to give a big shout out to Demo there, getting a very nice position onto their own enemy China to kind of stop them from, I guess, like pushing forward. Instead, they had to kind of keep his eyes on Demo, and from that vantage point, it made it very easy for him to kind of 1v3 the Weebtunnel Tactics team. Then
actually, kind of working right now. It's very even fight. Josh is on 1 HP. There's this scout. Can he hit anything? He actually gets Josh, but now it's just going to be all on Ignis. Can he skip jump out like a god?
The pre-fire from Demo, but no. What a heartbreaker of a round, Beta. They were so close to the end there. I think they had a minute advantage, and it slipped through the fingers.
Yeah, that was really clutch there by Lego. They were definitely looking to be in a pretty poor position, but they have really solid play right now. I think they're containing the flank extremely well. Whenever I've been watching Lego, they've been struggling with containing the flank. Like, they would lose the flank whenever they had to move on sniper, and then everything would just kind of crumble. But that hasn't happened here, so they've either improved on it, or Ignis is just not up to the task of actually doing it more. Gonna actually do quite a lot of damage, but Lego, they're getting some advantages here, as we do have a pause. We can see this very aggressive jump in right now from Josh, like very commanding position, and just the fact that he's up here and he's about to do some damage, that's gonna cause Lego, or give Lego a lot of room to move forward. At least the scouts. Dr. Phil is in World of Hurt, but like, he's not being shot at, so I think Lego will be fine.
I think that sums up Josh perfectly there. Those two words alone, very aggressive. It seems everything about this man and his plan and his mannerisms is just about aggression. He wants to take the Uber in to like kill Menti before he gets his. He wants to make the space for his team. He wants to be the first one in to get these frags. He isn't scared of anything, this Irishman. And he's fighting off straight onto war as well. trying to kind of take off the pressure from Phil, who might actually survive this mid, and I guess from that little detail alone, they might win out their first middle for this map. But
oh my god, the pyro update is out. Can you believe it? I don't, but can you believe it? It's definitely what's going to happen, right? So they're going to change map and we're all going to be screwed. But isn't it usually Thursday that they release updates?
I feel like I must be the only person on the planet in TF2 that doesn't mind no updates. I mean, then again, I don't really play the game. So, it's just, every time an update comes for the competitive community beta, it kind of breaks a lot of things. It breaks HUDs, it breaks configs, it breaks just the game in general, it breaks some mechanics. God, I didn't even think about the balance updates. That's another terrifying thing to think about.
Yeah, I don't know. Like the balance update, I'm kind of fine with, but yeah, like the whole issue is that they're kind of incompetent and terrible. Yeah, at this point, I'm kind of happy for no updates. I just wanted to admit that they don't know what they're doing, and just say, okay, we're not going to do anything, and we can just live in peace.
Incidentally, happy birthday to Team Fortress TV. I mean, Team Fortress in general, TF2, and thank you to the Valve team for making the game.
Yeah.
Right, just as we're slating them.
Sorry about you being so bad. I have to criticize you.
It's all right. We only criticize because we all want the same thing, right? We just want a better game. Oh, there we go. There's the unpause. Finally, I was a little bit worried that we were cut into a load of rants and long old man. I guess just.
Yeah, Lego, that you managed to move forward here with all of that momentum coming out from that, but Josh goes down very quickly afterwards, and they're not going to quite be able to maintain that momentum, so they're going to have to give up the point once again. So both teams, I don't know, okay, both my watches were broken, but yeah, Lego, they held that for 9 seconds, and they're about to jump in again with the full Uber. I think we actually have Ignis on Sniper as well, so they have to watch out for that. Whenever there's a sniper on this map, you have to be very careful about your routes of entry, otherwise you're just going to get your head ripped off.
Speaking of head ripped off, Twitch chat, please do not hurt us if we don't know the times. That is just a bug of the game. Pause for so long and we won't get any match time for so long. They do Uber in, and Josh decides to aggressively go behind them and see if he can get some kills onto the back line. He will find the Ignis kill, but I think when you've lost your main soldier man, I don't think that's really worth it. Both the soldiers will be coming back from the fight now, but the entire rest of Lego are just being completely minced, just waiting around for the soldiers to respawn here, and Josh and Dean will rejoin the fight, but what can they really do now, just the two of them?
Yeah, they can just build Uber for the enemy team, basically. And it looks like this is about where the pause came in. Yep, there we go. I'm not sure, maybe someone lagged out from Lego or something. I don't know. It's not given the benefit of the doubt on that one, they just lost the fight. So Lego, it's pretty even Ubers, so they can actually just do a lot of pressure here, just basically do a dry push, and then whenever they trade, they have better spawns. And also, if they're very aggressive, they are pushing into a sniper, and once the sniper gets jumped, he's not very useful. So here we go, we actually get Josh jumping in, gets airshot by Vanny. He gets taken down, but not that's also going down. And unfortunately for Lego, so does Ingi. I mean, Condom.
Yes, for all those who don't know, Ingi is Condom, is his first name. But yeah, just because Condom just kind of got like a stray pick came out of nowhere, I believe, from Warhurt, yeah, that kind of laid crumble to that push. So Weebtunnel Tactics will now benefit from just a little bit more time on the point, and right now it will be a mysterious amount of time because I have no clue which of these. There we go, the time is finally kicked in. It's 45 seconds left. What great timing, but Lego, they're making their push in and they've got a lot of time to recover as well, so this is going to be one hell of a defense if they do recapture this middle, and Weebtunnel Tactics gives it up to them for now, and this is great for them because if they lose any picks from this point on, they can kind of just use the loser's advantage of Viaduct and get those fighters back in, and Dr. Phil will be the first casualty on the front line of the Lego lineup. And with only 30 seconds left and no demo man, no aggressive pocket soldier, it's looking very grim for them.
Yeah, War is doing so much work just hitting those pipes and just doing a lot of damage in general. getting some nice picks with his sticky traps. It's going to make it very difficult for Lego. They're going to come in here. They still have to be wary of the sniper, but also they don't want to pop too early, but they are going to have to pop earlier before Menti is. Look at that, Manny's actually going to jump in there as well. That's going to force Menti to actually split the Uber quite a bit, and just jumps behind and takes down Bloodis. Oh, it's actually looking pretty good for Lego. They managed to push everyone back, and Dr. Phil in very aggressively onto this sniper, and he's going to get eventually taken down by Sen. And now we have Demul on Sniper as well, so it looks like both teams are now kind of slowly walking into Sniper. I guess it makes sense for Lego, because Sniper can be really good on defense.
Yeah, and they do need some high reward if they're going to make these 2 minutes back from Weebtunnel Tactics. And Weebtunnel Tactics, they just have to cap this once, Beta. I mean, they could just almost practically suicide everybody onto the point and just kind of throw everything in the kitchen sink in trading this point. If they just get it that one time, they do win this round. So kind of opens a lot of options up for Weebtunnel Tactics and limits greatly the amount for Lego. And Vanny is trying to kind of get this push started by getting himself behind and kind of cutting off Demo, but
he so weak.
Won't find the kill. And they have Ubered in, but oh no, they've actually dropped Dr. Phil during the Uber over on Lego as well. And look at all the cap time coming out from Weebtunnel Tactics.
They need to get on it, and they didn't. Yeah. Just a really good Uber coming out in Weebtunnel Tactics. They're going to actually get around here. Really well played by them. And it seems like whenever Dr. Phil goes down, everything just goes to hell for Lego. Like, it seems like a really key pick.
Alright, well, it's another round, another, I guess, do-over for both of these teams. Let's see, it is 3 rounds to win. So, Lego on match point right now, while Weebtunnel Tactics have a lot of climbing to do. They are quite successful these mids so far, though, throughout the bye rounds. So maybe they might win this out. And again, the aggression, the positioning just seems just a little bit better over on Weebtunnel Tactics, and they kind of win by
both
default.
Lego scouts are so weak right now. They actually do manage to take down Ignis, but you can just see the entire Lego flank just got pushed back really, really far. And I think not until both scouts got the heal back up they managed to come back in, and here comes the Uber trade. Was in very deep. Was actually just going to stay in while everyone else goes out, and he's just going to be completely left for dead. Soldier's in though. Vanny tries to take down Ghanem, but Ghanem was still slightly flashed there, so not going to be able to get him.
I feel like not everybody on Weebtunnel Tactics was on the same wavelength, Beta. It looked like War wanted to stay in with the Uber or keep going aggressive, while the rest of Weebtunnel Tactics just opted to almost back out entirely of that midpoint as well. So it's very strange. Usually teams have a good, at least at this level, have a good point of just kind of keeping on the same objective, but they will make a good counter push in now. And
what is onto Ingi, but oh my god, Condom actually with the arrow kill.
Team nice little snipe onto Warher, yeah, as well. I think that's going to kiss goodnight for this this re-initiation from Weebtunnel Tactics, but they've still got another 2 minutes or so to kind of have at it, so it's not over quite yet.
Not quite. There's going to be about 2 minutes left on the clock for Lego right now, which is a lot of time, so it's all good. Let's see how they manage to go in here. They're going to send in Vanny very aggressively, and so will Ignis, and so does War. They really want that Condom pick, but Condom is dancing around. So far he's not being picked off, and he's going to survive just fine. And Menti, he's going back to last here. He actually didn't have anyone to heal for. Oh no, he did have a scout with him. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Well, that was just a suicide wave. It's basically what it ended up being, at least. And man, worked out pretty well, I'd say, overall for Weebtunnel Tactics. Like, it looked like a terrible fight, but it was actually a really good attempt.
My eyes are right on Demo right now and seeing if he can pull off an epic sort of introducing First Blood onto this fight, but doesn't seem to find anybody right now. Everybody's kind of popped off their invincibility, and you see a soldier has started addressing Demo from behind, and Demo will go off and hide just for a little bit, but this has kind of bought enough room and enough space for the rest of Weebtunnel Tactics to kind of come in, go aggressive on the remaining Lego players that were busy dealing with the blob, while the others were kind of trying to hunt down Ignis and keep Demo alive.
Yeah, it's currently 1 minute on the clock for Lego. They have twice as much off of the clock as Weebtunnel Tactics does. They're gonna move in here. They're gonna have to dodge the Ignis sight lines here. Ignis has only now just entered the fight, and I don't think Lego are aware that there is a sniper. So he could definitely get a really good first shot, and he will get it onto Dr. Phil. We've talked about this before. This could be really bad for Lego, but Zorx is in very aggressively, takes down War in return. And I think this is going to cause everyone else to kind of go back, because now we see Demul behind. Actually, Vanny will take down Demul with a nice rocket there. But Lego, they're so aggressive. They just completely move across the point here, and Zorx will get taken down. So Lego, I think they've overextended quite a bit here and just split up too much.
Yeah, it just looks like they don't know when to call it quits over on the side of Lego. Say if they lose Dr. Phil, they don't want him to die in vain. They don't want his damage to go for nothing. And they'll just always kind of follow up, even if it looks like it's not the most follow-upable damage, if you know what I mean. So Josh kind of committed himself in there as well. And because he was so committed in, they had to use the Uber so early because it was such a dangerous scenario. And well done to Weebtunnel Tactics as well, kind of doing a good job kiting him around during all of that that single Uber onto him. And Lego are making the pushback now, but God, the big wall of Weebtunnel Tactics is just so strong that even the aggression of Lego can't seem to puncture it. The only one that kind of finds his way in there is Josh, but only gets one clean rocket onto Menti and couldn't find the second one. And now it's back to the drawing board for Lego.
Yeah, it's worth mentioning that, like, both medics have actually been really good at surviving these skirmishes, so Lego, they're just going to get another try here. But yeah, once again, just Lego not quite able to get it in time. We actually saw Vanny kind of just looking at the Assorted go behind, and then he just chased him down, and that left them with a man advantage. But Lego, again, they're going to send an Assorted behind. That's the Mool this time around. And Dr. Phil is going to go down to Vanny again. So Lego, they're completely spread out. Vanny is kind of behind lines, but he's going to go onto the medic. Pops him into the air shot. Perfect play there by Vanny. Really well played.
That was tasty. That was a very nice shot coming out from Vanny. I thought he was getting a little bit greedy there. He had a lot of low health players that he could have aimed for, but instead went for the medic kill, and it went down swimmingly for him. So now Weebtunnel Tactics have a very good chance of maybe even coming back into this on heal advantage alone, although Condom's already back into the fight, so not even heals now will kind of bring this back for Weebtunnel Tactics. They're seeing if they can maybe just push them out the old-fashioned way, and Vanny is still behind during all this as well. He's got some good spam damage onto Lego, and they're still not addressing him. Wall's going to address the damage though. He's getting all these kills, he's farming all of them. It's so easy for Chris Parker. He just needs to follow up and end it with his last pipe onto Josh, and there we go. That is the point for Weebtunnel Tactics and potentially the comeback.
They've definitely got the potential here. They're still going to have to hold this point for 30 seconds. And we just know like they're going to give it their all. They're going to be bombing in here. And so far, we've seen a lot of just giving up the point and then re-pushing it. And they can't do that now because once the point caps, it's just over. So they have to contest this, and this could really bring them out of their comfort zone. Demu's going to jump in very aggressively. We'll actually trade with the scout, so that's very good for them. War's in very aggressive, but it gets taken down. This is looking so good for Lego. Sorg is behind line. He even wins a 1v1 against Vanilla. And look at that. We have a sniper extremely close, just dancing around. He's trying not to die. Man, this is just such a chaos fight. I can't believe how many shots this sniper's got, but I think Lego is just going to be eventually able to overwhelm this, and there we go. They will take them out, but that was really funny to see. I think it was Ignis just dancing around the point as a sniper trying to get the point-blank headshots. You need like 3 of those to win it, but yeah, what a fight in the end there by Lego.
Well, usually the disadvantage of having a sniper, when he's not contributing anything to his team, it's which is quite possible, really. I mean, there's times where sometimes the sniper won't hit any shots, and your team is just playing with like a 5 versus 6 scenario. But usually teams might opt to run a roamer or a scout to kind of bring more presence to their little team fight as well. And I can't help but think that if Ignis was on Soldier there, it could have been a lot easier to defend that point. But I guess that's the high risk, high reward of it. He couldn't find that initial shot that kind of might have collapsed that entire push for Lego, and which is a bit surprising. I thought after watching Lego on the last week playing against oh boy, who was it? Low Panda. I thought Lego did a wonderful job of kind of addressing or dealing with the sniper as well. So you'd think if Weebtunnel Tactics did their homework there, they might have realized that playing sniper against this team isn't the way to go.
absolutely agree that the sniper in that base situation was definitely not something that worked out. Uh, yeah, it was still a really good fight for Lego, and also, like as I mentioned, it seemed like they really prefer to play it kind of passive on the middle, and when they have to hold the point like that, they can't really afford to do it. So they were just very much out of their comfort zone, and Lego just kind of recognized that and played it really efficiently, and just basically did the same kind of push that they always did, and then at the very, very end, it was just basically a DM fight, and Lego happened to win it. So, pretty close.
This game has not been kind to demo men like we predicted, Peter, or more like you predicted. We could kind of tell early off that both of these demo men were having a rough game. They were just dying a lot and being the first death between both of these teams as well, whilst one of them maybe got a little less deaths, but maybe kind of didn't really get to do much work in one aspect. The other Warher, yeah, got quite a few kills, quite a bit of damage, but to get that damage, he had to kind of risk himself a lot more than Dr. Phil. And he's just got a few more deaths on the counter in comparison. But, I mean, I feel like Dr. Phil probably got the most rough end of the stick, but it kind of brought enough room to his team in a way. It seemed like a lot of the resources were pulled into just taking Dr. Phil down, and they would kind of forget that, oh, they've got Sorex, they've got Zen on this team, who, by the way, was kind of going huge on the map as well. So when they didn't even need the demo man, and your entire plan seemed to be centered around taking out the demo man. What do you do for Weebtunnel?
I don't know. Like I in their defense, I do think that whenever they did kill Dr. Phil, they almost always immediately managed to push and then get a point off of it. So not like it wasn't worth it. And Dr. Phil was also doing quite a bit of damage still. Like he wasn't getting any kills, but like his scout and his roamer was basically doing really well. You can see Demore gotten 29 kills. That's a lot for a roamer on this map. And yeah, like 17 of those were on soldier, so it was actually pretty evenly split between sniper and soldier. So yeah, that's a really good performance coming out from Demore. And just the fact that Dr. Phil didn't, like, he only got 6 kills and 9 assists, the 17 deaths. Yeah, okay. I wouldn't focus on that too much, but yeah, definitely early on you could tell he was being focused, and so was War. War, he happened to also in previous matches he would kind of overextend for really weird reasons, and he would suicide in, and just be really, really, really aggressive, almost as if like he's just doing it for the lulz, right? Like he's not taking it seriously. But I do think he was. It's just like as a general trend, he is way too aggressive.
Yeah, it's just his style, and sometimes it aids him incredibly well. Sometimes it is the crutch that kind of lays waste to some of his losses. But I feel like the real difference maker between these two teams is just the flank play between both of them. It seemed like Lego was always winning these flank fights and getting behind because of it, whilst over on the side of Weebtunnel Tactics, I never really felt like Ignis or Nuthouse were kind of killing the flank over on the side of Lego and opening up opportunities or kind of tilting the favor towards the team in that manner. It felt more like if they had anyone behind, it was just because Vanny would just kind of get a stray amount of jumps off and just weasel his way in. And there was some pretty nice moments when he did manage to get his way back in, but it felt like the team effort and the team presence of that flank area from Lego just seemed a lot more than just Vanny getting in behind here and there.
Yeah, I feel like you can kind of tell, like we just saw the damage spread there. And Lego, they had like 2,000 more damage, which was not that much, but they had like 20 more kills. That's a lot. I think that's just kind of the flank getting through and then just coming in and just doing barely enough damage to do anything. And then, of course, we have the divided by area zone, which is not that interesting.
I mean,
not on this map.
A little bit interesting. You can see that over on the Weebtunnel Tactics kind of connecting area, they've got actually equaled out on kills on the side of Lego, which is usually, it should belong to the team who's closest it is to the base. Weebtunnel Tactics should have that under control. They've got these initial advantages already set for them, but it just stands a good testament to how well the flank was doing on the side of Lego. You could see Demul and Sorex were finding just as many kills as the pocket soldier Vanny on that side of the map.
Yeah, and actually a lot of Vanny's kills I feel like was actually him dealing with Demul. Some of the best success that Weebtunnel actually had was when Vanny was just kind of standing up on the cliff, and then he saw Demul jump behind, and then he just jumped behind himself, and then he would just meet up with Demul and kill him with the superior buff. So, yeah, like there was definitely a lot of play going on, and overall Lego being more effective and more successful on the flank, I feel like was the main contributing factor to them actually winning the map. And then, yeah, again, you can see like there's slightly more percentages on Weebtunnel Tactics side.
A nice, fun little stat to look at as well. It's just kind of like the Nemesis board, as I like to call it, where you've got shows off which players were picking on which particular player, and it looked like Vanny was the little kid crying in the corner while Sorex was throwing stuff at him. He's 7 kill difference between these two players, and goes to show that, again, that flank from Sorex is very devastating and very scary to meet up against. Maybe the reason he went behind Beta was just to run away from Sorex.
Maybe, but I think the most shocking thing here is Demul being ahead 7-2 on Nuthouse. That's really unusual, right? Like, because the scouts usually just eat the soldiers as they try to get behind it, as they bomb in and like suicide onto the medic. But Demul is actually getting the kill on Nuthouse, and I think that's just him opening up the flank right there.
Yeah,
like that's actually kind of incredible. Scouts are always so good on Vidoc.
I mean, looking at the bright side for Weebtunnel Tactics, Warher, yeah, was kind of dominating Phil in that little demo man match.
Actually gone live as well.
All right, if you're just joining us, this is our second map of our ETF2L Season 28 Week 4 coverage of LEGO versus Weebtunnel Tactics. Let's see if Weebtunnel Tactics can make the comeback into this second map. What do you see on mid, Beta?
See Vanny jumping in very aggressively immediately, and then Nuthouse kind of following up. They have both been rebuffed, and Vanny will actually be the first one to go down. That aggression not really paying off. Lego actually still in a superior position, and it's going to be Josh jumping in very aggressively, but again, he also gets debuffed. So it just seems like Lego is slowly edging everyone else out, and it's just going to be slightly enough. That Josh jump in, it didn't get too much done, but it was just barely enough, and then now we see Sorks kind of running forward because he's Sorks. Just going to peek in here, and he might actually be able to get a jump onto the demo here.
He makes the jump onto Menti, and Menti kind of popped that very early there. He didn't even lose any health, but it, I guess just the jump scare tactics of Demul alone is kind of forced off his right click button.
Sork's on the hunt. He wants Menti real bad, but he's not going to be able to get him. Menti running as fast as the scout really helped him out there. And they're still holding top lobby. Like, they look like the Weebs want to actually contest this. And they're definitely just going out. They're not contesting anymore. But
is Josh backcapping? He's actually decided to go for the backcap instead of going to Nuthouse. Just kind of deal with that little detail there, and instead Lego is still gonna fight this in second. Demul trades himself for the Menti kill now, and now they just need to bunch up next to Condom and kind of hold this point from an arm's length, but maybe they can't even do that because it's got so much cap time on it. It doesn't even allow them to kind of fully commit in. Condom keeps himself alive and also manages to keep his troops alive during all of that as well, and as the pieces fall and the dust starts to settle, it will be Lego on top.
Oh, that's big, really big pick off there from Josh. He managed to actually get War. War was very weak, and Josh is going to jump in here onto Ignis, trying to get the air shots. I think Ignis will be able to get out. Yeah, he will. But Lego, they're just pressing the point. They're just heavy, but it's just not going to be enough. They will actually pop onto the point as well. Eventually, they're just going to run a single person on it and cap it. Great push.
I mean, they could have actually won that a little bit sooner, but Condom opt to kind of pop the Uber. It's like, no, let's play with the food before we actually finish with it. So they kind of chase them out, got these bonus kills. And alright, okay, now we'll cap it out. And quick round coming in from Lego. 1-0.
I just assumed that there was like stickies under the feet or something. I was expecting Josh at the moment. But no, I guess it's just, Condom being cheeky. Just going to pop the Uber. You know, you got to pop the Uber before the round ends. But then we see Demul Joe going in here, but Igni was just waiting for him, so outplayed Demul has been. The scouts up top and get a ton of space for his team, and Josh will try to jump in very aggressively here to hopefully buy a lot of space for his team, but so far Lego, they're being really far back, and War will just do the same thing, playing the Roma role basically, but just jumping in. But I feel like Lego is just slowly losing ground right now.
Yeah, they do have Josh in somewhat of a nice position. And did Zen just kind of push back 5 players by himself? That looks so weird. I just saw like all this advantage and ground advantage for Weebtunnel Tactics, and then Zen's just still managed to push forward and I don't really see any spam play coming out from Dr. Phil or Josh to kind of support him. It just seems like he's doing a very good job, and God, that would look so strange to watch.
Yeah,
and
like,
there we go.
I'm not just making it up, right? Like, Lego, they were definitely like looking bad and being pushed back, and then all of a sudden Zen just walks forward, and I was expecting Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil was like way out of the fight. He was doing nothing. He was like getting a med kit. And the same for a soldier, not really doing anything, like barely coming into the fight at the very end. But it looks like Lego has eventually lost this Uber exchange, and they're going to be forced all the way back to last as they're pretty much forced to give up second. Fortunately for them, there's only a single scout capping middle, so it's all going to be kind of delayed, and Connor's probably going to be on like 80% whenever any kind of last push could come in. So Lego, they're going to be fine, and you're just going to have to move on Sniper and try to make some space for him.
Actually, I think they've been building it so ferociously, Peter, that he might actually get the Uber before Menti will, which is a little bit strange to see, but I guess that little back out from earlier must have been like a tactical retreat just to get all their weapons reloaded and whatnot, and then kind of make a nice little push in together. Demo will find the Vanny frag, and that will delay things for Weebtunnel Tactics slightly, and Lego only see this as an opportunity to maybe get a player in there, and Zenith has actually come back as Soldier. The Zen Soldier from a couple of seasons back decides to make a return as well. Nothing will hold back that. Demo just got the Menti kill. That has opened everything up for Lego, and nice little heal from Condom as well, keeping Josh alive during that kind of bunch up and blob. War will be hidden underneath in the lower area, seeing if you can get a nice sticky trap to kind of delay things, and Demo keeps finding the frags, finding the picks, and Warher, yeah, might be next on the chopping block. He will almost meet his demise there.
He's going to come in from behind as well. He's going to find a single sword, and he's actually going for the last point. He could get this. Oh, Dr. Phil's actually there to at least contest him enough. Phil could still go down there, but no, Sen on the soldier here. You can just switch to scout now. That's very convenient. Well played. Pretty much perfect. Vanny's up on the high ground here as he's just spamming down, but he looks like he wants to jump in very aggressively.
Red Warher, yeah, red that position like a book, suspecting somebody to kind of walk past that little ramp area. Does get like a nice little free pick. Condom will actually be forced out from spam alone, and now they're just using the remnants of that Uber to kind of pick up the pieces. Maybe they can find just a stray pick here and there, but they've actually managed to find themselves into the second point for free almost, and they were a bit confused. Should we push in? Should we back out? I'm not really too sure here. They're scared of the Menti Uber, but he doesn't have it quite yet, and he's not going to have it anytime soon. He's gone down to Dr. Phil, and with Condom still alive, they could just play off heals.
Yeah, and even Sorks going behind there and losing 1v1 was still just enough of a distraction that it just sent enough players back that that caused all of that to happen. Let's see. Lego, they're just kind of bunching around their medic right now, because so often you see like the enemy team loses their medic and then you just move forward because they have no heals, and then you just get bombed and you lose everything. So Lego, they're just going to play it really slow here, just play off of the Uber, wait for players to get back in here and buff everything up, and then they're going to be able to go in. I even think Josh is on a banner right now. Is that right? Yeah, it is. Yeah. He's actually on the banner. And he's going for the soldier in the skybox, not going to get the air shot. Eventually Ignis will go down. He's not going to be able to force Condom, but Condom's like down to 50 HP, so he's not really in the fight and healing, but Lego, they just kind of edged and bullied out Weebtunnel Tactics, and they might even be able to push last with this. That would be really huge. Phil going down.
That's some grand show of experience by Lego. They're realizing that they committed Josh in so far. He was almost like casting the line, finding the fish that wanted to find Condom, but he took the bait, the Josh bait, hook, line and sinker, went in, and Condom was in such a defensive position that Ignis was trying to think a little too next level, thinking that if he delayed it for just a little bit longer or just the right time, he might get onto Condom based on Josh's position there, but they saw it coming. Lego planned for it, and not only that, they capitalized off it. Beta that started the dominoes falling and allowed them to get that second point and hold on to that Uber, as Demo is rocking that spy and he's looking for the pick onto the last point.
They actually sent him all the way back to spawn as Dr. Phil was opening up the door, so they might not expect this, but just as I say, that blows is actually like shooting behind. And also Demo was doing the cardinal sin of spies, like he was like changing between weapons, and you can actually hear that if you have a good headset. Yeah, so don't do that. because they can actually hear you do it.
Yeah, these Highlander players, man, they probably worried about spies in real life as well.
Yeah, like if they hear like the leaves rustling in a specific way.
Oh God, Bloodless actually hit Demon there, but didn't notice that he hit him.
Alright, here we go. We have a soldier distracting, and the distracting is working, but no, he's barely going to be able to not get him. So Lego, they tried to play the distraction there, and they're like inches away from actually getting the medic pick, but no, not going to be able to get it, and Ignis going to try to counter-sack, and he'll get shot down as well. So let's see what the Mole has in store for us now. It looks like he's just going to be soldier.
Or maybe caught out here, manages to actually get juggled and pushed all the way back to... Oh no, they're committing in Zen to try and follow up the kill onto War, and it goes into the favour of Weebtunnel Tactics quite nicely, as it's, again, that little bait and switch that I was talking about was just too tasty of a bait for Zen to give up, and finding that, not finding that war frag in the end is going to hurt them just a little bit. Maybe give at least the fault to Weebtunnel Tactics about making this push in. They actually go aggressive with the Uber. This is very bold from Weebtunnel Tactics, and it does force out Condom, and forces the rest of LEGO to actually back out, but doesn't really materialize any sort of objectives for either of these teams. And is that a contra here? Yep, the defensive contra coming out.
Banner. Or no, not bot banner, sorry, the
battalion's back up.
Battalion back, yeah, they're just going to use to walk through a sticky trap there.
Walls down, oh no, that is a big pick for LEGO. Weebtunnel Tactics need a demo man if they want to hold on to these doorways, and now look at them, they're just flooding in for 3B to no less.
Oh, Phil actually goes down. Menti.
Oh,
what an air shot by Joss as well.
What a headshot by Demon. He got it, the Menti kill, and now they can just play those heals. And War is back to the world of the living, but it's just one man, and I don't think he can really kill all these players by himself. He's making a good attempt at it though. And
there's still a sentry gun also.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. But there's just that one sentry gun against 2 scouts, and they are both Ubered. They actually don't want to commit onto the sentry. There we go. Now they'll finally kind of back off and take clean of that sentry gun. But it's done its job, Beta. It's delayed the push, and it's allowed the respawners to come back into the fight and defend Snakewater.
Yeah, very, very strong push there. It was like basically Joss got pushed or something, so his last rocket didn't get the sentry gun. And that was actually really, really impactful on the overall fight. So now it looks like LEGO, they're just gonna kind of move back, hope the sniper can actually get a pick. Looks like Nemo will miss that one, so just gonna back off. Point goes out here, and that's a recap. It's still only 1-0 in favor of LEGO, so a really clutch hold.
Nice little pipe coming out from Warhu. Yeah, some of that aggression that we're talking about is showing a bit of shine in his play. So with Dr. Phil down, that the tables have turned. They can now pick a door that they'd like and enter it, but instead they're going to pop the Uber anyway, kind of almost the blue light to go.
Oh, War's in behind.
Go aggressive.
It's an excellent flank, and he gets down the medic. Not going to be able to get down the scout, but that was still all worth it. Zen's going to keep on fighting these scouts, and there's actually a back cap coming out from Sorix here. I believe it's Sorix at least. Yeah, it is. He's going to kind of back off here, so 3 players are in here, and then just as I say that, he just jumps into 3 players because he's Sorix.
Yeah. He's brought back 3 heads now, and it's delayed that mid cap as well, so they can maybe even think about defending this. And Josh wants to get onto the point. I have a rough idea of what he's trying to do. If he blocks that point, maybe he can keep the respawners flowing for LEGO, and they're entering through the fire and through the flames meter, despite the aggressive stance, the aggressive hold, I should say, from Weebtunnel Tactics. It proves a little bit too much for even Zenith to kind of go in. Oh wait, no, he's going back in. He was just reloading. He's going. He takes down the Warhu pick. And now, without a dome man, it's a little difficult to solidify this defense. It's 2 scouts kind of beating at each other, but they brought their own demo man to the party, Beta. It's this, but they've got an Uber charge to delay things for the side of Weebtunnel Tactics. But Condom is going to have his own Uber very soon, Beta, and they're still floating about.
Excellent pipe from Dr. Phil as well, just completely pushing back all the scouts. And now LEGO are just going to push in here with no fear in their hearts. And they get down Vanny right away. And as long as Condom survives this, LEGO, they're just in such a fantastic spot. So he was fine. You're like an entire HP. He's cool.
An entire HP. But yeah, it looks like they
War might just again get overextended. Like I get so nervous when War does this.
They've got the Uber. And they're chasing wall. They want the wall pick. Josh needs the wall pick. He demands the wall pick. Sorex will actually be the one to find it. The train stops for no one. Lego is still pushing forward. They'll be happy though. Oh, is he happy? No.
Josh wants it, but the rest of them are just like, nope, no, we don't wanna. We don't wanna. Just go back out, please. And now it's too late.
Josh,
miscommunication.
He needs to know his limit. So actually, he's just kind of calling out for the enemy team. Maybe he's just the spotter, the true scout of the team, calling out where the enemy is, so the rest of them can kind of flood in from the doors and get some picks going. Sorex will eat a meaty pipe from War, and there we go. There's a nice calming presence of the Uber for Weebtunnel Tactics to kind of keep things a little cool for them, you know, bring things back, reset.
Indeed, but look at the Uber advantage coming out from Lego. They basically have these time. They're going to use it right now. That's a bit of an unfortunate situation here. They are going to get Vanny, and they're obviously going to hold the point. And actually, if they get enough picks here, they might even be able to push on it, but they definitely want us to hold it for longer. But let's see, it's going to be a Soda and very aggressively trying to hold it. Ignis doing his absolute best, and he actually survived this as well. And he's even going to bump into a Soda here, but the Lego presence is just so overwhelming. They have time on the point, a single Soldier, and everyone else is going to have to dive on it, and we're not going to be able to hold it. Great push from Lego there, just pushing on tiny advantages.
I'm guessing this is what both teams look like if they have like some fantastic attack but some terrible defense, because they just seem to be throwing it themselves at each other constantly back and forth to see who can kind of like attack the most, and then they'll kind of go a bit too aggressive and overextend and end up faltering, and the other team will have a crack at it and another go of overextending as well. But it seems like the overextension of Lego just seems a little bit stronger than Weebtunnel Tactics in this match, so they will go to another mid, another round for Lego, and maybe they could even make another mid of the back of this. But with Josh and Zen going down so early, they do have Demo behind, however, but his butt is so low on HP, he isn't really in a position right now to contribute to his team, and his team decided to just back out. But they've got a private back there who's behind enemy lines, and they won't be able to save him. There's no saving private Demol. Oh my god, a nice little cleanup war pipe to catch out Sorex, who was thinking about making the journey to save private Demol, but it won't go, and War is still going aggressive. He actually finds the pick off onto Dr. Phil as well. And maybe they can strike while the iron is hot. Dr. Phil down means a defense potentially open for Lego, and there we go. They've entered in from the left-hand side. The Uber will be popped by Menti first, but Condom responds in kind. Josh is going into the face of Menti. Look deep into my eyes. I'm going to kill your team. War is going in anyway, because that's what War does. When an aggressive force meets another aggressive force, it turns out that one of them can just die, as they're not unstoppable, and they will kind of just back off for now, and I don't think Lego will even dare push forward past all of that fighting.
I think he got a little bit too excited there. War had just been carrying the round so hard for his team. Like, he was amazing on mid, and then like the little follow-up push in that came from Lego, he completely crushed that as well. Then he walked forward, got some more kills, and then he was like, I'm going to keep on walking forward and do this for my team. And then at some point it just didn't work anymore.
I mean, we've all been there, Beta. We've had those moments where we're just going so huge. You can already hear the YouTube frag music playing in your ear, and you're like, I want to make this clip better. It needs to be the best. And you keep pushing forward, going, biting a little bit too much off, and there we go. Bloodis will Uber in, take out the sentry gun. That it will delay things for a little bit, at least for Condom to get his Uber up, and they're trying to keep Ignis floating about here. Maybe they haven't noticed him, but Zenith has noticed him, and they're going to clean up that kill. But it's Operation Backcap for Weebtunnel Tactics. It's time to go to the EU gimmicks, and EU gimmicks will not win this round today. It will be some just good old-fashioned TF2 and Uber play for Lego to kind of make the claw back from their last onto the second point, Beta.
Yeah, really good job there by Lego. It's so easy to lose this way when you just forget to check it out. But they do it right. They pick off all the hiding players, and they clean it up. And now they manage to get in onto mid here. They still have an Uber advantage. They can take down War again. That's so important. That's a really, really big deal. And that's going to probably cause Lego to just basically get second for free here as well. See a Soda in again, really aggressively. Nice rocket from Josh to finish up that scout. Nuthouse going down. Lego, they could even push in onto the last here. You see how aggressive they're just playing this. They just want to get in here immediately, and Blood is on heavy. It's actually a really bad choice right now because he can't run away. Lego, they get a quick pick here, and now they're going to send a scout onto the point. That's going to force everyone else to get in there. Now Lego, they're winning this fight. This is really, really well played, and they're finally going to come out the Uber from Menti, but the Lego, they're just kind of spreading himself out, and they're hoping that there's not going to be too many respawners here. But actually, if any, he's going to get 2. Lego, they're on the point though. Yeah, they're just going to win this. Great push.
He probably gets the most least important kill for them to get during that. After the Ubers are exchanged, he goes for the condom kill, and at that point, you just need to get some frags onto the ones that could actually frag you back. But God, Beta, this game just feels like a nice way to sum up. There's a lot of people that want maybe admire War. Maybe some War fans are in the chat right now. But if you want to really live like War, I want you to just find a coin and just flip it. And it's one side will be fail and one side will be just a grand win. That is his gameplay right now. It's just 50-50. Whether or not this team will come on top based on whether or not War's aggression works or whether or not it fails.
Yeah, they will try to be pretty aggressive, but he gets taken down very, very quickly here. So currently, it's Weebtunnel tactics just pushing across the point, and Lego, they're not actually standing for it. They're going to push back. So far, they're doing really well. War getting saved by an arrow there. Nice arrow from Menti, but Ignis going down up top from Josh. This is just looking better and better for Lego, and they're just going to keep on pushing. And Sorks, he's on the hunt. He actually gets not out, and you know he's going to keep going. He's going to keep going. Here we go. He's found his medic. He's found the target, and they're actually going to pop it.
They're out. They're like, I don't want to play this game anymore, and they just pop the Uber. And,
War's just going to go full YOLO.
Have you boys got your coins out? Because it looks like it landed on tails. It will be the fail for War and his compadres. And with no demo man down, Beta, that is probably the last point. Might as well good and capped, as they even got an Uber as well to kind of really keep this place safe. And they're trying to get people onto the point, but it's too late. The round is already up on there. The cap has already been captured, and it is 4-0 for Lego Beta.
Yeah, you definitely hit the nail on the head when you said he's just like flipping a coin, basically. That was so weird to see. It was just literally War bombing into 5 players hoping to be a hero.
Behold, Beta, I'm going to predict War's next play on this mid, and it will be a win. A win is declared by our I guess, nominated coin, and let's see what War has tucked away for us. The big boy cam is on him. Let's see what he can exchange out, and he's trying to fish for the pipes, fish for the kills, but doesn't find it immediately, so he backs off and now reloads and recuperates for another little push out. But what's this, Peter? The coin has failed me.
Oh, I can't tell because my game just crashed, so keep on going, dude.
Alright, well, they've managed to kind of get the Lego kind of overextended, going for that, I guess, the chase onto a falling back Weebtunnel tactics, but instead they kind of just mine those players that overextend themselves away from the rest of the Lego squad. And they decide to just Uber in, but both of these demo men are just scratching up against each other now, and some nice little spam and some nice little damage from War. The demo men are just kind of disco dancing near the saw room, and none of them can kind of land the damage on each other, and eventually the rest of Weebtunnel Tactics will join the fight up. Demol has entered the game. He's just picked up 2 kills. He's kind of just brought them back from the brink of this mid defeat. Josh has entered the fight in, and he's kind of giving them the ring around the roses as well. Sorix is in the back line killing people somewhere. I don't even know where that boy is. He's hunting people down. He's playing a separate game. He's playing Hitman when everyone else is playing Team Fortress 2 beta.
What a god. I am almost in the game, I think. It's giving me some issues. So I'm very, very close, but yeah, what's going on here?
It's 7 minutes left on the clock. It's 4-0. Weebtunnel Tactics are like, please put us out of our misery, for the love of God. They've even got a level 1 sentry gun to actually deal with it. There we go. Now that they may be able to hold on to this, the sentry gun actually did a little bit of distraction work, but the soldiers from Lego have laid too much damage.
Still on the point.
It's over, Peter. Mercy has been granted. 5-0. No time limit needed. It will be a nice little clean whitewash from Lego, and the result everybody was expecting, but were we expecting it to be this quick?
No, not really. I expected Lego to win, obviously, I believe, but still, no, that was a lot more convincing than I actually thought it was going to be. And like, I don't know. I can't tell whether or not to say War carried his team or War threw really hard. I can't tell. It's just he did both somehow.
It felt like, yeah, there was just moments where he had such massive streaks of just kind of winning back. He not only did he would win a mid, and then he would win a second, then he would get a random pick. And it looks like they're almost there. They just need to make it past the final little hurdle, but it's always the biggest hurdle in TF2. It's the last point beater, and it's just too great of a hurdle for even Chrissy Parker to kind of find that extended YouTube clip on.
Yeah, like, if he keeps playing like this, he's gonna have so many clips in the final fragment because this is how you get highlights, right? You just beat the odds and everyone's gonna get hyped, and then you get your highlight clip, and then you lose the match, but it's fine.
I mean, we were talking about it earlier, Beta, where both of these teams have different objectives in mind for the season. Maybe this is their objective. They just want to win YouTube. Let's just get some good frags in. Let's have some fun, guys. I do not believe in pussy TF2, and neither do Lego, and I guess when two teams like this collide, it is a grand match to watch, despite the scoreline.
Yeah, indeed. If we're going to look at some stats here, the first thing that really jumps out to me, other than War's damage, is Ignis and Vanny both being bottom damage, going 8 for 19 and 7 for 17. That's abysmal as for a soldier. That means they're just getting crushed by scouts over and over, I think.
Yeah, a big shout out actually to the LEGO Scouts. They were, I won't say the unsung hero. There were times where, God, there was the one that springs in my mind is when Zen was holding off an entire team by himself. But we'll get into that a little bit later. But it seemed the Scouts were actually the ones on the front line for LEGO, and they were kind of push the front line in. And whenever they struggled or tried or couldn't get past somewhere, that's when Josh would like identify the problem, or Demo would identify the problem, and then they would just bomb the person that's the problem. So maybe a little bit more of the style was in the tail end of the game rather than the beginning end. The beginning stages of the map. Words are difficult, but yeah, it was just a very nice, I guess, approach of the mid from LEGO to take, and just how much confidence they had in their scouts to not only get the front line going, but pushing forward, but also surviving as well. It's not easy as a scout keeping yourself alive against the front line of these Prem players as well. There's some respectable names on the Weebtunnel tactics, and we've even seen that War is capable of making these like grand little plays of just kind of not only holding off the line, not only killing the players, but kind of following up on some bonus frags as well. So, whew.
Yeah. War definitely has the aim to go with it. It's just his positioning and decision making just seems really off. Like, he knows better, I'm pretty sure, but he's just like, yeah, it's fun. But enough about us. Let's get some interviewees in here. We actually have Sen, Dr. Phil, and Bloodis. Oh my god. Why did I do this? Okay, I'm gonna drag them in.
Oh boy. Now we need to take off all their gags so they can hear the beautiful voices. Anyway, welcome to the channel, guys. Welcome. Thank you for the wonderful match that we got to witness onto the stream there. I want a big shout out to Bloodis for joining us from Weebtunnel Tactics, Dr. Phil and Zen also in from Team LEGO. And I'm going to start off with you, Bloodis, okay? What do you think went wrong in tonight's match, in your opinion?
I don't know. I can't really put it to words easily.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
It's kind of like it's just like not getting enough practice then for like to be enough confident.
All right, let's
sure.
Okay, let's turn the tables a little bit. Let's look at the other side of the mirror. Dr. Phil, Zen, what did you think went right for you in this match tonight?
We let Sorex just go loose on the enemy team. And
pasta.
Yeah, you know.
The pasta. Embrace the pasta.
And Connor didn't die a whole lot like he usually does, so that was a good thing as well. I think I caught out as much.
Yeah, I managed to actually run Ingy out quite a few times. That was pretty good.
Now, I want to talk about the maps, actually. Like, I feel like we didn't really pay too much or talk about the maps too much in detail, so we could maybe have a quick gloss over them now. Do you think the match played a big part in any of the results tonight. I'm going to start off with you, Bloodist. Did you think that if you met Lego on some different maps, it would be a different story?
Maybe with Snake Water, but I don't know. I think Product Wolf went fine for both of us. So like, it was really good too. But maybe if we played on some other maps, but I don't know. That's what we get for delaying Reckoner to the last week.
All right. How about you, Dr. Phil and Zen? Do you think there's any maps you wouldn't want to play Weebtunnel Tactics on?
Yeah, Badlands. For some reason, we just we don't know how to roll out on Badlands. I don't know what it is, but we get slammed by War every mid, pretty much. We just get rolled. I was pretty proud of us for Viaduct, though. I think War is really strong on Viaduct, and we managed to play around him pretty well.
What's your like overall like way to play? This can go with both teams. Let's just start with Lego. Like, what's your angle of attack when you go in? Like, what's the key to winning Viaduct for you guys? Like, what's your mindset going into it?
Aggression and like don't give them any space is what we ideally want to do. Just meet them head on, basically. Or they try to go for trades and so on.
You might be asking the wrong people, because me and Phil are both in the combo, and we just sort of try to hold our ground for as long as we can and hope that the flank is able to do something. And if they are, we walk forward and try not to overextend.
Yeah, the flank was definitely doing something. I think Demul had the most kills on the server. He had like 29 kills, and number 2 had 20 kills. Yeah, so Blood is, I guess, for your fight, like, what went wrong on the flank for you guys, do you think? Is Demul just too strong, or did you mess up your coordination?
Pretty much just, we don't have the best kind of coordination. And with combo, there are some struggles within there. Like, even though we want to listen to War all of the time, it's just like sometimes a bit tough to even like follow up on it with like everybody.
Me and Bisa were talking a little bit earlier in the cast about both of these teams probably have very different goals for this season in mind, and I was just wondering if that's the case. Bullis, does your team have like a particular goal in mind for this season at all? Is there a certain place you guys want to go for, or do you want to strive to improve as a team? Or, well, obviously every team wants to do that, but do you want to kind of like use the season as like a training season and then kind of come strong and go for the gold of the next season? What's the plan, basically?
Pretty much, we just don't want to be relegated to start off with that, and then of course improve so that we could like seasons be able to like consider getting to the playoffs. But that's only like a thought for now. Maybe but like as long as we wouldn't be relegated.
Right.
What teams do you guys think you guys can beat? Like, what are the teams that you need to steal points from? Bloodus.
Maybe. Well, okay, this is a big maybe, but low Pander, but.
Ooh. Why?
Just because, like, from what we played against them, we can like sort of counter like their game style.
So
it's not that much of a deal for us.
You're not really scared of the gimmicks or the flex class at all?
Not really.
Okay. Well, how about over on the side of Lego? What are your goals for this season? Do you guys just want to win it outright, or just aiming for the playoff spot, or just preparing for the LAN maybe? What is the goal, Dr. Phil?
Playoffs for starters, and then take it from there, I suppose. Anything less than playoffs wouldn't be well enough for us, at least how we see it.
Does this sound about right, Zen? Is that your personal goal? Just get into playoff.
Oh, personal goal is different from the team goal.
Ah, okay.
So Phil is the team leader, so he has all the team goals sorted.
All right. What's the personal goal for Zen then? Is it just become the biggest name in TF2? What is it, Zen?
I played the game for a while. I don't think I'm ever going to be the biggest name in TF2. I'm just here to play video games, man. I just want to have fun.
Oh, that old chestnut.
That's the loser's talk right there.
Yeah.
That's the way to go.
Nope, I don't believe I don't believe it for a second. Every Prem player that ever touches Prem always just wants to win. I never believe this. Oh, I just want to have fun. The fun comes from winning. You can't trick me. All right, Beta, have you got any more questions for our champions here? I think I'm running short.
Yeah, like we have some matchups coming up next week. Hold on, I can't find it.
Right.
Lego, you guys are playing against, I believe, Swift. Yeah, that's a
Ooh.
big one, right? And the maps are going to be, I assume, Snakewater and Sunshine is even back. So are you guys looking forward to that one? Do you think you can take them?
I think we played Sunshine once, so it's a bit hard to tell at this point.
Do you guys like Sunshine?
But one time, no.
It's alright, but I think Dr. Phil doesn't know which side to roll out, so that might be a problem.
I'm just used to you running out the other side. Like, I get the EP.
It's been a while since we played Sunshine in EU, you know.
I mean, were you guys happy at the start of the season to see that Sunshine replaced Granary? No.
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 Not even a little bit.
No. Not even remotely.
Bloodis, how about you? Do you like Sunshine? Does your team like Sunshine?
Personally, I do like it, but then again, I didn't think that like the right map got replaced then in the end.
So, if you guys had to choose, maybe would you guys choose a different map other than Granary to get replaced? What map would you pick instead?
Reckoner.
Reckoner. What about you, Dr. Phil? Zen?
Yeah,
Reckoner as well?
Yeah, Reckoner is the pretty obvious choice.
These Prem players, Beta, they're so predictable.
Yeah, and they're also right. But yeah. So I said like last time I casted Swift that they probably have the best scout combo in Prem. But actually, yeah. So
wow, Zen, you're gonna take this.
Yeah. Do you disagree? Like, do you think Zen and Zork is actually better?
I do. I think it's based on who kind of turns up huge. I feel like Zorix and Zen, especially today as well, they've been quite scary. There was a point, also, yeah, I do want to kind of sing the praises of Zen. There was a point, I'm not sure if you remember it, Zen, on the Snakewater middle, where it felt like you were the only person kind of pushing back the entire Weebtunnel Tactics team on mid, and it was like a very, very long mid. Like, was that the actual case? Was it just you, or were the things I wasn't seeing at all? Or?
Genuinely, I don't remember that. So I don't know. Check the stream, I guess. Watch it back.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to write down some notes. Maybe I could be the biggest name in TF2 still.
Maybe. I believe in you, TurboTabs. You can do it.
All right. Well, before I start my my Swift montage in scout training, have we got any more questions, Beta? Are we done? Should we get to the shoutouts?
Yeah, we should get some shoutouts. We've already heard that Bloodis has said that they're going to steal points from Low Panda next week. That's next week, so definitely watch out for that. Like, Bloodis has promised.
I want to maybe touch upon the matchup for Weebtunnel Tactics. I don't think we didn't talk about their week 5 at all. Bloodis, who are you playing in week 5?
The Low Panda.
Oh, the Low Panda, the one that you were expecting. You actually threw down the gauntlet and said we're going to take down Low Panda and get some points off them. Okay, that will be a high matchup. All right, okay. Well, I guess we don't have to get into the details of that. We already know. So we'll start off with our traditional shout-outs with the alphabetical order. Interviewees first. Bloodis, have you got any special people out there you want to shout out to?
Shout out to my team and all the ETF2L admins.
Dr. Phil, it's you up next.
Shout out to my boy Ison, to Seppu, Ibli, Sammy, Crystal, Ryan, and our manager Amy.
Yeah, what he said. I don't have a list like Phil does. I'm not that coordinated. Shout out to everyone who watched. Sorry, go ahead.
Beta, you got any special shout-outs for people? I mean, it's TF2's 10th anniversary. That's worth a shout-out, right?
Yeah, shout out to Valve's TF2 development team. I think you guys suck. And make sure you guys all tune in next week. Or when I say next week, I mean tomorrow, where I'm going to be producing and we're going to have Twiggy and Hipfire on the production, like on Caster. And just like all of those accents combined should be really fun. if nothing else, right? And it's going to be Swift versus Top 5 Rocket, and Top 5 Rocket can beat anyone and they can lose to anyone. Ascent, sorry, yeah, all habits die hard, but that's all I have.
All right, well, to close us out, I've actually got Hearts on Fire from Rocky. So I guess if the Scout montage is going to start, it's going to start now. But in the meantime, thanks for joining us over on teamfortress.tv. This has been your coverage of ETF2L Season 28, Week 4 LEGO versus Weebtunnel Tactics. Okay, maybe not for the lyrics. The lyrics is just going to kind of drown things out. But yep. Good game by LEGO to win out the full 6 points against Weebtunnel Tactics. And I want to give a big shout out to everybody at home watching this and putting up with my very bad music on on my phone and playing in the background. Thanks for putting up with me all these years. But otherwise, I've been TurboTabs. Joining me has been Beta, Bloodis, Gemm, Dr. Phil, Zen. There's some casters in there, there's some players in there. I'll let you figure out who's who. But otherwise, we've got a website, we've got Twitter, we've got Facebook. I'm just listing all of the plugs right now and the players. But I think that's everything. That's all the names jumbled in there. That has been me. See you later. Bye-bye. Ta-ta. Cheerio. Cut it off now, Gemm. See you later. Sayonara. Aloha. Bye-bye.
It's going to run out of languages.
Yep, I'm running out.